Well, good evening. Okay. Probably wondering what I'm doing out here in the woods. Well, then again, maybe you don't, because it's kind of like my second home, so to speak. I'm always out in the woods if you think about it. Okay. This is part of our collaborative between reading to and culinary. The squirrel jumping around over there caught my eye, or I should say ear. And we're going to delve into a world of a very rare plant. Well, it's not too rare, but it is kind of uncommon. It's rather valuable, right? You can probably sell it for about $20, $30 a pound in some high-end specialty restaurants. It has a relatively short lifespan. It's one of the first plants to come up during the springtime. That's why it was so valuable back in the day for settlers, because it was the first green plant that they could eat. Okay? Now, the scientific name of this plant is Allium trichococum. Okay? If you think about the word allium, right, that might give you a clue. The term allicin, all right, we're talking about a member of the leek family. These are wild leeks, and they're also known as rampsons or ramps. Now, in the deep south, in the southern Appalachians, they're a big deal. They grow very profusely, but it seems like they only grow in areas that are covered in hardwood, relatively moist soil, and it's somewhat well drained. And they don't seem to tolerate pines or any kind of conifers. So if there's any pine trees or spruce trees, they tend to shy away. And this is what the plant looks like right here. Okay, Allium trichococum. Oh, trichococum. Oh, I can smell the garlic, and that's a dead giveaway. All right. There is another plant called Canadian ivy, and it does grow elsewhere. It actually grows under pines. So if you see it growing under pines, you know it's not a ramp, and it grows pretty much year round. That one there, when you break it open, it doesn't smell. This smells of garlic, so you know it's safe. But let's identify it even further. Okay, it's got a small bulb. It's also got like a purplish stem, and it has 3 leaves, sometimes 2, but sometimes 3. But if you break them, it definitely has a garlic smell to it. Now, since this plant is relatively rare, I didn't want to over-harvest it in the ground over here. So I only harvested a small handful of ramps, all right? Because like I said, around here, they're kind of rare. This is all I'm going to harvest, but I did harvest, okay, a whole bunch of leaves. Now, you can take a leaf from the top of the plant, and the rest of the plant will continue to grow. Now, the ones that I harvested, bulb and all, it might take a year or 2 for that patch to fill back in, okay? So that's why I don't like to over-harvest any wild plants, unless it's something like an invasive species like garlic mustard. That, I don't care if I rip every square inch of the ground for that, all right? Because it's an invasive species, and it tends to crowd out native plants, okay? So now, this is just the first leg of our journey. Tomorrow, I'm going to hand these items to our culinary artiste extraordinaire, Mr. Diamandes, and he's going to utilize his culinary magic on a relatively rare and unique plant that is actually quite flavorful. You can do many things for it. Years ago, I actually made a batch of kimchi with it. It was good, but the process of making kimchi stunk up the house. I advise not to do it. Okay? Then again, I live alone with 2 deaf white cats. It wouldn't matter. Okay? Anyways, I will see you guys soon. Okay? You have a great day.